Welcome back to the Crypto's King conversation. In today's video, we're going to take a look at some Ripple versus SEC updates with a bunch of different tweets and tweet threads from XRP community members. So we're going to take a look at Stefan Huber's poll here in regards of this conference that's happening between the SEC, Ripple, and the judges on June 7th. Adam O had put up this video. It's like a little highlight reel of Chairman Gensler from the SEC and then Vitalik Buterin and them talking about their Ethereum ICO and their pre-sale. Riz put up this video with Jimmy Valley and Linda P. Jones talking about Jimmy's view on the Ripple versus SC case. So it's a great, insightful video. Johnny Deaton is responding to Ripple I in regards of Joe Lubin being like pro Chairman Gensler and the SEC's approach to regulating the crypto market by enforcement, and talking about how all the other industry or so-called industry leaders, if you will, are kind of saying that the way that the SEC is going about it is wrong, but Joe Lubin's like praising Chairman Gensler and the SEC. Tech XRP's kind of referencing what's been going on with litigation with the Ripple versus SEC, and then talking about the big conversation that's been happening in regards of a lot of these companies, blockchain technology companies, whether they're exchanges or not, are starting to have layoffs, but Ripple is still hiring. And then we're also going to cover some Cointelegraph articles. It says Yuga Labs, Bored Ape Yacht Club, other side Discord groups have breached over 145 ETH stolen. And then we're going to finish on South Korea ramps up crypto investigations and regulations. So obviously we've been talking about what's happened with Terra Luna and their UST stablecoin depegging, and there's the complete collapse of the, I guess we can say the original or OG Luna token. So we're going to end on that one. Coming over here, looking at CoinGecko, we're currently sitting at a $1.28 trillion market cap, currently at 0.7% for a 24-hour period. Coming down here, Bitcoin sitting under 30,000, 29,785. Ethereum sitting at 1794. Coming down to XRP, just under 40 cents. See what kind of gainers we have. Chainlink is sitting up 7.2%, Chain 5.2%, Helium 5.1%, Avalanche 4.9%, and so on. So there's small gainers here and there. Obviously, if we come over here to the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, we're still in this extreme fear range. We're at 10. We've seen it as low as 8, and I think it's happened twice, maybe 3 times in the Bitcoin and crypto's history. But being at this 10 level in this extreme fear range shows you there's still a lot of market uncertainty. There's a lot of different factors that are playing this. You have well manipulations, people playing games. You have, a lot of geopolitical things, a lot of different negative narratives out there. We were just talking about hacking within, discords and Bored Ape Yacht Club stuff, the UST and Terra Luna collapse, and just a lot of different narratives that are taking place. You have inflation, Jerome Powell in the U.S., so many things that are affecting not only our markets, but all markets. So clearly our market's still being affected. There's still a lot of uncertainty within the market. I wanted to start with this poll here, and I had selected I guess you could say D, public humiliate the SEC. This is Stefan Huber. He had said, what will happen next Tuesday? Netburn will. So he's talking about the June 7th conference between Ripple, SEC, and the judge, if I'm not mistaken. And James K. Fallon had put the update out, and he was kind of just putting up this poll. It says, Netburn will do another income review, grant the SEC's motion, deny the SEC's motion, or publicly humiliate the SEC. So I put this one just kind of out of spite. And the crazy thing is this is the highest, I guess the highest selected one. He has 2,022 votes with 23 hours left on this poll. So as you can see, they all range in the same range, especially the do another in-camera review, grant the SEC's motions, or deny the SEC's motion, sitting at that 22 to 24% range, with publicly humiliate the SEC being at the highest, which I highly doubt will happen, but it would be kind of cool if they kind of just stomped on their delay tactic parade. Stefan Huber says, my prediction, she will order another in-camera review and ask the SEC how much additional time they want for that, and then she'll voluntarily add another month, just to make sure her judgment is good enough to then approve another SEC motion for reconsideration for ACP. JV says, continue to encourage the SEC's behavior and delay tactics. So just a little humor, but obviously you can see there's a little bit of distaste in community members' mouths in regards to kind of what's been happening. I'm still sticking with Johnny Deaton says, to have Judge Torres and Judge Sarah Netburn in the, being the judge presiding over this case, we're completely blessed. And I 100%, agree with Johnny Deaton and his, background in law and, being a part of cases and being an attorney and so on. So I'm going to continue to ride that narrative and say, hey, they know what they're doing. So make sure they get it right so we can get the regulatory clarity we need. So moving on, this is Adam O from Denver. It says at Denver Bitcoin put up this video. It says if there's only one video you should watch about Ethereum, it's this one. So let's take a listen into this real quick.
This describes some crypto as securities. Which ones do you think of as securities?
It's pretty clear, and the Supreme Court has actually spoken about this many times. If somebody is raising money, selling a token,
start the Ether pre-sale in a couple of weeks. So the Ether pre-sale will be an opportunity for anyone to purchase Ether, where Ether is the internal currency inside of the Ethereum system, sort of like the XRP and Ripple.
And the buyer is anticipating profits.
What we're hoping is that's sort of similar to what happened with Mastercoin. If that slice is something like 20%, and then the value of Ether goes up by 5, then we basically have the entire initial BTC that we got all over again.
Based on the efforts of that group.
About 100 people that are working on Ethereum right now.
Myself leading the protocol design.
And we also have branding teams, we have marketing teams.
That fits into something that's a security.
So the last 10 or 11 seconds has, I think, some copyrighted stuff that I'm definitely not going to put in here, even though it really wouldn't matter. But yeah, that's that. I think that's a great video. I mean, we've, as the XRP community and, developing the Ethereum free pass timeline, talking about ETH scandal stuff and just kind of piecing together, all the different pieces of the puzzles of them in their own words, them on video footage, just like this one here, and just kind of piecing together, how all this thing was cohorted, and it looks like a team effort from all these so-called bad actors that's been trying to create a monopoly within the crypto market with Ethereum. But yeah, we've seen this, and it's really no surprise, but I wanted to play that. Riz XRP had put up this great video. It says Jimmy Valley, a merger and acquisition expert and securities attorney, talks about Ripple and XRP lawsuit on Leno P. Jones's YouTube channel. So let's take a listen into this.
So let's talk about the lawsuit. You mentioned that you're very familiar with the Howey test. What do you think the outcome of the lawsuit is going to be?
Well, I'd like to say if people actually follow the law, there is only one obvious conclusion, that XRP is not a security, and the SEC is going to basically lose categorically across the board. I think probably at its current pace, probably the Ripple summary judgment on the fair notice defense, which is a little more into the technicalities about, things that were in the market prior to the lawsuit, things that, that we in our due diligence knew about, like that Ripple had a settlement agreement with FinCEN back in 2015, where FinCEN said that XRP was a virtual currency.
That's right. FinCEN did do that.
Yeah. Things like Chris Giancarlo and his colleague from Wilkie Farr had published a full analysis of XRP, applying the Howey test to it, and had come to the conclusion XRP was not a security. Our own analysis, the Bill Hinman speech, that basically was market guidance. The American Bar Association says market guidance. Every major law firm, Latham Watkins, Cravath, Skadden Arps, every major big law firm had written papers or written, client alerts analyzing and had basically said, Bill Hinman's speech provides guidance to kind of all digital assets. If you're quote unquote decentralized enough, we now understand that's decentralization is not a piece, has nothing to do with the Howey test, right? When they were looking at, the securities that covered the orange grove, the concept of decentralization was not a concept, right? That is something that the SEC and Bill Hinman made up in 2018. They just made it up. Just like made up a new prong and poked Bitcoin and Ethereum through it.
So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed their conversation that they had in this segment. I want to thank Riz XRP for posting that. Moving on here, Johnny Deaton's responding to Ripple Eye here at _XRP Pizza. He goes, when almost every single person in crypto, including Hester Pierce, was complaining about regulatory uncertainty and how Clayton and the SEC was being vague and engaging in regulation by enforcement, one guy was literally bragging about how great the SEC was handling the industry. So if we come in here and take a look at these images, it says This is Communication ACM. SEC isn't hurting crypto innovation, says industry leader. So it says Joseph Lubin. In an interview with Lubin said he thinks Gensler is under a lot of pressure and may deserve what he asked, may deserve what he's asked for Congress, greater authority to govern the industry. And then you have on 4/25/2018, Gensler said there's a case there's a case one or both ETH XRP might be security. It says on 5/1, Lubin cited Gensler remarks in his answers to the street, but dismissed them saying, quote, "We are comfortable that many regulators that matter understand what Ethereum is." So we know about the all the verbiage and stuff he's been utilizing in all his communication logs, and him on video kind of throwing out, literally, as he says, creating this reality of, if you constantly say it, decentralization, a new social or a new decentralized construct or a new construct, and decentralization, eventually become a reality. And that's kind of what he's been talking about. And that's what's kind of seemed like it's what's happened with Ethereum. It's just like it went from, ICO to, obviously it's been built out. You got thousands of projects being built under the Ethereum blockchain. And then, now this whole thing of, well, it's fully decentralized, which is it really decentralized? We don't know who the disguised whales are. Who truly has all the so-called staking power whenever you convert from proof of work to proof of stake? Like, is it really decentralized? But that's this reality that's kind of been happening. Obviously, we know about the Ethereum free pass speech from Bill Hemmon back in 2018. Just a lot of crazy, silly stuff that's been happening, and this is going to affect the entire industry. So this Ripple versus SC case is massive, and definitely an investigation needs to happen in regards of kind of what's been happening with this whole ETHgate stuff. Moving on, it says TagXRP had put this up. It says the SC versus Ripple case has now taken almost 2% of the average life expectancy of an American citizen. And it says Hester Pierce, Heron Lee, Warren Davidson, Tom Emmer, Cynthia Loomis, Eleanor Terry, Johnny Deaton, Jack, Elon Musk, and all those people. It says the SEC Garen Gensler refuses to respond to over 60,000 people. Count days, 531 days. So I'm assuming this is 532 days now. 532 days. Affecting a lot of investors' lives that you're so-called set out to protect. This is from Leo This is from Leonidas. It says, it's sad that so many blockchain and crypto companies are letting a lot of people go. Meanwhile, Ripple, in the middle of a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, has 200 open positions. And he has the, shrug emoji. Coming over here, in relation to that, this is from Panda Ripple XRP. It says companies that layoffs and freeze hiring staff. It says Gemini, Robinhood, Bitso, Coinbase backed Rain Financial, and whatever this is, Buinbit. Companies that are still hiring staff. Ripple. I mean, that says a lot. It says a lot. I mean, that's crazy. So moving on here, some Cointelegraph says Yuga Labs board at Yacht Club, other side Discord groups breached over 145 ETH stolen. According to the OK Hotshots investigation, the attack was conducted by hacking into the Discord account of Boris Wagner, community and social manager for Yuga Labs. So, long story short, there was a breach which exposed, I guess there was stolen, there was a phishing, it's right here. Same community manager, Boris Wagner, got his account breached, which let the scammers execute their phishing attack over 145 ETH and was stolen. Proper permissions could prevent this. So, and even coming down here, this is another one. It says 29 Moonbirds were just stolen in a hack. 750 ETH or 1.5 million in value lost by clicking on a bad link. So the reason why I'm putting this up is there's still a lot of negative things that happen within the space. Lack of regulations in this space, lack of security within the space, and clearly this is happening. So I'm putting this up so be warned, okay? Don't click on any unofficial links, even if you are in your Discord. Clearly, Discord's been getting hacked. There's been a lot of different social or crypto social platforms that's been hacked. You got to be very careful about what you're clicking into and what you're signing on, with your MetaMask or your Phantom Wallet, whatever the case is. Be aware of what you're allowing, what websites or, what companies or what people are you allowing access, or you allowing them to access, your assets, because this is happening. People are losing all of their stuff. So just another forewarning. I mean, we all are capable of being scam like this, so you got to be very, very careful. I literally took Discord off of like my phone and stuff because there was just so much shady stuff happening, and I just didn't want to have any issues with me partaking in clicking a bad link or whatever. Ending on this one is from Cointelegraph as well. Says South Korea ramps up crypto investigations and regulations. South Korea announced Digital Assets Committee launched an investigation and met with the Asia Pacific financial authorities. So long story short, it says right here, it says although the FSS is currently the primary financial regulator, on May 31st, 2022, South Korea announced the upcoming launch of the Digital Asset Committee. According to the announcement, this is a temporary solution to bring structure to the virtual asset industry following the Luna Terra crash. Per the announcement, the guidelines include screening criteria for newly listed assets, market monitoring, trade monitoring, a level of disclosure, and other investor protections. The 5 major exchanges in the country appear to agree on the standards and have formed their own committee to help prevent another incident similar to Terra Luna. So clearly, the Terra Luna collapse and UST depegging has caused a massive wake within the crypto industry. And clearly, it's not just South Korea. I mean, the United States have started going full steam ahead in regards of the crypto regulations, especially when it comes to stable coins or stable back coins that's supposed to be backed by 1-to-1 USD. It's happening. So whether it was a coordinated effort from government officials or a certain body of people or whatever the case is, it's all moving towards this whole narrative of bringing regulations into the space. So I just wanted to throw that up there because we're going to be seeing more and more of these terms of investigations and regulations happening. This is from Decrypt. Said the Incoming Crypto Committee in South Korea will steer policy recommendations and enforce investor protections ahead of the enactment of the Digital Asset Basic Act, the DABA. So it's happening. I want you guys to subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're slowly growing. I'm super excited about it. I'm going to continue to keep bringing content up, talking about what's going on, the latest and greatest within the Ripple versus SC case, what's happening within the market in regards of, whether it's negative or positive. I'm going to try to cover some of the top stories and top updates from projects that I find interesting that I want to have a conversation on. So make sure you subscribe to Crypto is Key and then come and follow us on Crypto is Key 1 on Twitter as well. We want to grow that account so we can continue to, spread information, give my insight, and contribute to the crypto community. With all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.